What's up guys, Teacher Paul over here, and today we are reacting to this video from Canada. So this was a suggestion from one of you guys in the comments. This is the one-eyed scout who liberated a whole town by himself. Oh, this is Canadian history. We are doing Canada this week. If you guys want me to change the country next week, let me know in the comments. But if you are from Canada and you want me to continue reacting to Canada, let me know what I should react to. You guys can send me history stuff, geography stuff, you know, army stuff, music, because as I said, I think the only artists that I know from Canada, like for sure is Celine Dion and Justin Bieber. But I want you guys to send me like not mainstream artists, but you know, people who have like touched your childhood, you know, changed your idea of what music should be, you know, real Canadian artists. Like I mean Justin Bieber and Celine Dion, you know. Oh, Drake. Is Drake from Canada? Anyways, enough said. Let's keep going.
Leo Major, the one-eyed scout who liberated a whole town by himself.
By the way, you can check out this original video in the comments down below, and yeah, go support the creator.
World War II. In World War II, for the Canadian effort, one soldier stands out from all the rest: Leo Major. He was a French-Canadian from Montreal, Canada. In 1940, at the age of 19, he joined the Le Régiment de la Chaudière of the Canadian Army. Their insignia underlines their fierce fighting reputation, consisting of 2 crossed Vickers machine guns with a beaver above supporting fleur-de-lis. Private Leo
Why the beaver? Is it like the national animal?
Major first saw action at D-Day in France, taking part in the Normandy landings on June 6, 1944. Straight away, he distinguished himself as a scout behind enemy lines by capturing the German communications half-track, full of secret code books. He then forced the captured crew to drive the Hanomag towards friendly lines, but was fired upon with anti-tank guns by British and Canadian troops. Leo had to climb on top of the vehicle to get them to stop firing as they drove closer, and later remarked how happy he was that the British and Canadian soldiers didn't know how to shoot.
Oh, shots were fired, bro. That was a roast. Okay, first of all, that is brave. I mean, that is insanely brave.
When the English officer asked Leo to hand over the Hanomag, Leo refused outright, stating that it was a Quebec man who captured it, and so it was handed over to the Chaudière Regiment.
That's interesting. Do you guys say Quebec or Quebec? I've heard both pronunciations.
His war was nearly cut short when a few days later he was scouting ahead of his unit. Leo unexpectedly encountered a patrolling elite Waffen-SS unit. In the ensuing firefight, he managed to kill 4 of the enemy soldiers, but one of them, fatally wounded, managed to throw a phosphorus grenade, and Leo was hit, damaging his left eye badly. Leo was then sent to a field hospital for treatment.
This is his villain backstory. Well, not villain, but hero backstory. This is where it all started. This is, oh, the eye patch. I can see that he's gonna get more intense throughout the video and throughout history, obviously.
Leo had to wear an eye patch while his eye healed, and he remarked on how he looked like a pirate. Remarkably, he refused to be sent home, stating that he only needed one good eye to aim a rifle.
Bro,
quickly, he returned to the front line
savage.
And continued to act as a scout and sniper for his unit. Shortly after returning to active service in October 1944, he was involved in the month-long Battle of the Scheldt in Holland, which involved much heavy fighting and several amphibious landings. One day during this prolonged battle, Leo's commanding officer had ordered him to find the 50 zombies who had gone missing on patrol earlier. Zombie was a slang term used by Canadian volunteers for unenthusiastic, inexperienced Canadian conscripts in the war.
I was gonna ask what zombies meant, but he explained it. Thank you.
Leo was carrying out the reconnaissance by himself, as always wearing PT sneakers instead of heavy boots. He was deep behind enemy lines in the dark, in freezing cold rain, muttering to himself, "I am frozen and wet because of you, so you will pay."
Oh, he was out for revenge. wearing sneakers. Yo, this guy is savage. Is he seen as a hero, or is he seen as like well, I think he's probably a hero, right? Probably, yeah, 100%. I think. You guys tell me. I really don't know much about or anything about Canadian history.
Drenched to the skin while not finding the zombies, he did come across a garrison of German regular troops, sleeping in trenches that they had been digging all day.
Oh my goodness.
Noticing a snoring German officer, Leo woke him up, pointing his Sten gun at him, and then motioned him to order his men to follow him. One soldier raised his rifle and was shot dead by Leo, followed by 3 others who joined the firefight. After this, he shouted, "Achtung!" and "Handen hoch!" and the garrison quickly decided to surrender to him. He then single-handedly marched 93 German soldiers back to the Allied lines. But on the way there, they were attacked by Waffen-SS troops manning an artillery battery from a neighboring village, who were infuriated that their fellow countrymen were surrendering.
Bro, how could you... Wait a second. There are so many questions right now. Like 93 people. How is that even possible? That's like that's like three times the biggest classroom that I've taught. I mean, yo, that's a lot of people. How can you manage all these people without them running away or attacking you? And if there were like at least 5 brave men, they could tackle him, you know. And the other question is, bro, these guys are killing their own men. Although, you know, intel, you can get intel from 93 people, especially if they're surrendering. Yo, this is so crazy. Oh man, this history, yo, it's stranger than fiction, bro.
This left a lasting impression on Leo. The Waffen-SS unit managed to kill and injure a number of the German prisoners before being driven off by an Allied Sherman tank. Leo then handed over 93 German prisoners to his speechless commander.
Wait, he was taking 93, they were attacked, nobody died? Wait, what?
For his act of bravery, Leo was awarded the Distinguished Conduct Medal, which is the 2nd highest award in the British and Commonwealth, the Victoria Cross being the only one higher.
Can you imagine this man arriving with 93 people and he's like, here, take your prisoners. Bro, that's insane. Although I did see in one video that Canada didn't have it was kind of like an unwritten law, take no prisoners. So kind of like makes me wonder.
But surprisingly, he declined the medal, feeling the British commander, General Montgomery, who was going to present him with the award, was incompetent and therefore in no position to give him that medal.
This dude is a bad boy. Yo, that is so cool. And yet it shows like how proud he was, right?
Then in February 1945, as his unit was fighting in the Rhineland in Germany, the Bren gun carrier he was traveling in hit a mine, wrecking the vehicle and killing all its occupants, except Leo.
Yo, this is like a movie, yo. You know, like in the movie when you're like, oh, so you're telling me everyone got killed except this man? Yeah, that happened in real life. Everyone got killed except the protagonist here.
He was severely injured, including 2 badly broken ankles, 4 ribs, and his back in 3 places. Leo again refused to be shipped back home, and after a short spell in a Belgian hospital, he returned to his unit in time for their final attack to clear Holland of the last of its German occupiers.
This man is Rambo. Die hard, bro.
So on April 13, 1945, the Allies were preparing to attack the large Dutch town of Zwolle, but were unsure of the strength or deployment of the German forces in the town. That evening, Leo and his friend Corporal Willie Arsenault volunteered to carry out a recon of the area. The city was planned to be bombed by Allied artillery, and this is something Leo and Willie wanted to prevent. When the two approached the outskirts of the silent town, the Germans spotted Willie after his grenade bag made a rattling noise, and he was killed by enemy machine gun fire. Leo took 2 of them out, but the others fled in a vehicle. He then took his friend's Sten gun an extra bag of grenades, then laid his lifeless body on the side.
Yo, how is Leo so smooth in getting away with stuff? His friend got killed immediately. I'm gonna even go back because I can't believe that. His friend got killed immediately while he just John Wicked the two guys who killed his friend.
Willie, after his grenade bag made a rattling noise, and he was killed by enemy machine gun fire. Leo took 2 of them out, but the others fled in a vehicle. He then took his friend's Sten gun, an extra bag of grenades, then laid his lifeless body on the side. So enraged was Leo that he would go on a one-man rampage that lasted the whole night, using his submachine gun and bags full of grenades. He hijacked a nearby German scout car, disarming the driver and taking his MP-40, adding a 3rd submachine gun to his inventory. Leo made him drive to a hotel, then entered a bar. There, he disarmed a German officer who could speak French to Leo, and he made him aware that the town was to be bombed by Canadian artillery, which would result in German military and civilian casualties. The officer understood, and in good faith, Leo handed him back his pistol, allowing him to drive off in the hopes that he would evacuate his troops rather than rally an attack.
There must be a movie about this. There must be a movie. I don't know how I've missed it or how the world has missed it, but this is an incredible story. Not story, but history. Bro, this is insane. Honestly, like it's one of those movies that you're watching and you're like, oh, this can't be true. Nah, this can't happen. Nah. You know, it's crazy. It's insane.
Leo moved around the town for a few hours in the dead of night, firing on any German units he came up against, throwing grenades and making as much noise around town as possible. His idea was to confuse the enemy into believing that they were under attack by a far larger Allied force storming the city. He proceeded in killing or capturing German defenders as he moved from street to street, using the local river and church as reference points so as not to get lost. Every time he had...
Yo, not only did he do all of that, he didn't even know the location. Yo, nowadays tourists get lost just like even having maps and having GPS on their phones, and this dude didn't get lost at night in a place where he had never been before, and he dude had a GPS in his head. Yo, this is insane. And not only did he capture 93 people, he did it again with the whole city.
River and church as reference points so as not to get lost. Every time he had enough prisoners, normally between 8 to 10, he would march them back to the Allied lines and drop them off before returning to the town to carry on his one-man assault.
He did that. What? He went in waves. He went in waves, bro.
He is reckoned to have done this around 10 times. 4 times in the night he had to force his way into civilian houses to rest. Although terrified by his initial appearance, once they understood he was Canadian, they looked after Leo. During his rampage, he also attacked and set light to the Gestapo headquarters, further adding to the confusion. Then, finding the SS headquarters, he engaged in a firefight, killing 4 SS officers inside. Then, later, Leo came across a group of townsmen by chance. This included a local policeman by the name of Frit Kuiper. All of these men were secretly members of the Dutch resistance.
Bro, this takes one-man army to a whole new level. I mean, every time I watch Rambo and movies of that genre, I'm like, God, this is so unrealistic. But this is making me a believer. This is I mean, this is factual, right? This is Canadian history, so but it's hard to believe. But I believe it because it's Canadian history. Right?
Leo then explained to them that the town was liberated. Then the group went on to take the town hall and bring the civilians out onto the streets. By 4:30 a.m., the German garrison had fled the town, and Leo had single-handedly liberated Zwolle.
This is crazy.
Leo retrieved his friend Willie Arsenal's body and returned to his unit, who had yet to advance into the town.
He came back for that guy, his friend. He even went back for his friend so he could bury the body. Yo, yo.
On that morning of April 14th, the Allied forces entered the town without a shot being fired and without the loss of civilian life from the planned bombardment, due to Leo's outstanding bravery the previous night.
That is crazy.
For his heroism above and beyond the call of duty, he was again awarded the Distinguished Conduct Medal, and this time he accepted it.
There we go.
After the war, Leo left the army and returned to civilian life to resume his old job as a pipe fitter.
How do you go back to your life after doing such heroic feats? How? You can't. You gotta go into politics.
With the start of the Korean War in 1950, the Canadian Army joined the United Nations forces in fighting the Communist Chinese and North Korean invasion of South Korea.
Or maybe not politics, but you know, you could go in and be like a lieutenant or a major or whatever. Well, he was already a major, right? I'm not sure. His name is Major, right? Leo Major. I'm getting confused with all the things he has achieved.
Leo, though only 29 years old, was seen as a veteran with a special skill set and was recruited to rejoin the army and become a member of a special scout and sniper team. Then, in November 1951, the Communists attempted to take some strategic important high ground just 40 miles away from Seoul, the South Korean capital. The fighting was based around the vitally important Hill 355, nicknamed Little Gibraltar, and Hill 277. Chinese troops had captured it from the Americans, and Leo was to recapture and hold the hill. The fighting raged for days, and the Canadian commander, Lieutenant Colonel Jacques Dextraz, declared, "In the event the battalion is attacked, there will be no withdrawal, no platoons overrun, and no panics." During the battle, Leo commanded a unit of around 18 men, repelling whole Chinese divisions while enduring heavy artillery and mortar barrages for 3 days. Even though Leo had been ordered to retreat when the Chinese divisions counterattacked, he refused. Instead, he demanded that the commander of the mortar platoon, Captain Charlie Forbes, rain mortar fire on the enemy. The mortar fire was so close to Leo's position that the commander could hear the bombs explode when Leo spoke on his radio. And it was so intense that the mortar barrels warped from their rate of fire. For his valor and leadership under fire, Leo was awarded another Distinguished Conduct Medal for capturing and holding the key hill. Leo was the only Canadian to win the Distinguished Conduct Medal in 2 separate wars. He lived a quiet life afterwards and in 2008, at the age of 87, passed away, having been married for 57 years and having 4 children.
Bro, this man was not killed. He lived his life, he retired, and he died of old age. Yo. That is insane. That is the most incredible story, war story I've heard. But then again, I haven't dug deep into these videos. This is kind of like the first time I'm doing these type of things. I hope you enjoyed my reaction, and hey, I want to learn a lot more. He died in 2008. So this is a man who saw he saw a lot of things happen. You know, a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? He saw the world change, because in 2008 the world had already changed a lot. Wow. Yo, this is something that I could never have imagined, and this is the type of video that I really enjoy watching because it's educational, it teaches me new things, and it's also entertaining, and hey, it's actually a feel-good video, right? To know that you guys from Canada had such a heroic person, and it's quite inspirational. It makes you want to, you know, not join the army. I wouldn't do that. Not now. But it makes you want to, you know, do more. Because this man alone did more than his whole battalion. And that's why he refused his first medal, right? I think he wanted everyone to be as brave as he was. But you know, that's 1 in a million. You can't find these type of people like anywhere. These guys are born for this, man. And I bet when he was retired, he might have missed, you know, the good old days. Although he was kind of driven by revenge, according to this video, by anger, and he had like a, you know, motive, a mission on his mind, and he was a product of revolt, which, hey, I think he was very, very useful in saving a lot of people from that city. One man liberating a whole town by himself, that is incredible. That is insane. Capturing hundreds of people on his own. Oh man, that is so crazy. I need some time to process that in my mind. But I hope you guys enjoyed my reaction. Thank you for this insightful video, and I'll see you on the next video. Let me know what I should react to next. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have a specific video you want me to react to, then you can support me on Ko-fi. The link is in the description. You can send me a personal message there as well. But hey, I'll see you soon, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.